Sexual exploitation is where someone takes advantage of you sexually.
By giving the illusion of love and care, or by giving you gifts, food or accommodation.
They may have power over you and use threats or violence so they can get you to perform sexual acts for them or for others.
It can also include the use of technology, so that person may meet the person that grooms them online, and then that may lead to them then going on and meeting them in person.
It's a real myth that only happens to children who are in care, or it only happens to girls, or it only happens to girls who are in care, or girls who are vulnerable. All children and young people are vulnerable. Any child can be sexually exploited, and any child can be approached and groomed and targeted for exploitation.
Unfortunately, people that groom children are very good at identifying what that child's weakness might be, what their vulnerability might be, and how to then focus in on that in order to groom them.
Grooming is when someone who wants to use you and sexually exploit you
Is nice to you and makes you think they are a safe person to be around.
They can do this by pretending to be your friend, boyfriend or girlfriend.
Or act like a mum, sister, auntie, uncle or other family member.
Perpetrators are in all areas, from all backgrounds, from all cultures, from all religions, men and women, old or young. Children and young people can't consent to sex until the age of 16, so if they're under 16, they're still classed as a child who cannot consent to sex. And if they're in a relationship with an adult, parents should be worried about this and should be asking questions.
Changing really in your child's behaviour. They may suddenly become a bit more evasive, but that goes with territory sometimes with adolescents. But it may be that they're out a lot more, they come in late, they're hiding things from you. You find things that are in their bags that you didn't know they got, like a new phone or some jewellery or clothing, and they're saying they've got it from their mates, or they're not really clear about where they got it from.
If you typed into Google signs of CSE, you would probably find a list of 100 different things that would come up. However, there are some factors to take into account. So things like a child or young person who goes missing. Children who go missing from home or from foster care or from school, it's a sign that they're unhappy. Children don't go missing if they're happy. So if a young person is going missing, and not just overnight, missing is when you don't know where a child is.
If their friendship group changes, if their appearance changes, if their mood changes, anything that makes your young person different to how they used to be. I'm not saying that these things mean that it's definitely CSE, child sexual exploitation. I'm saying that these things mean that something might be going on for your young person, and it's worth just checking that out with them in an open way.
I think it's more about, you know your child, you know when you're concerned, and then it's about joining that together and seeking some help or some more information about that to know whether it's then something that you need to go on to either report or to get some more advice. And it is important to make those links and to recognise that, for example, if a child is going missing frequently, to look into the reasons for those missing episodes, to then be able to intervene and do something.
Lots of young people that I work with, they don't want to tell their parents anything. And I think that is the key, is having conversations, being able to talk from an earlier age, so you've got that relationship instilled when they're a bit older, then hopefully they would come to you and they would tell you, because they've got that trust.
If you don't listen with interest to the really little stuff that they blather on about when they come back from school, then they're not going to think that you're going to show interest in the big stuff.
It's secrets that are dangerous, so make your house the place where everyone hangs out. I think that's a really good way of stopping your child being vulnerable, and then if anything does change, you'll notice the change.
Probably the best thing to do is to talk these things through with your child if you feel able. If you don't feel able, then maybe there's someone else, someone at school, for example. Teachers sometimes do these sorts of talks at school. But make sure your child understands the hazards out there in the world.
They have like hundreds and hundreds of friends on social media, and they might be chatting to someone, you say, oh, how do you know that person? And they'll say, I don't, they just added me. And so that's quite a risky situation. You don't know that person. There is a profile picture, but it could really be anyone. So we would obviously educate them on the dangers of that.
If something's not right, it's having the confidence as a parent to check that out with your young person and to ask them the question, you know, is everything okay because I've noticed something's not right. You say to a young person, I'm going to take your phone off you at 9 o'clock, then it may well be that at 8:45, lots of images get taken and sent. If your young person is part of that plan and agrees, yes, this isn't safe behaviour for me, then it's more likely that they're going to help keep themselves safe as well. Do you want to talk about it, or is anything bothering you? You seem to be very quiet, or you seem to be very cross all the time. You know, whatever it is, whatever that change is that you might notice, kind of try and be direct in asking them about it. Give them the opportunity to tell you, actually, Mom, Dad, yes, there is something that's wrong, and this is it.
You can also contact the school if you want to. So most schools now have been trained around sexual exploitation, and school might have some more information for you as well. You can speak to us at the CSE team. You can go online. The Respect Yourself website is brilliant. It's got lots of information for parents around how to talk to and how to work with and who to speak to if you have issues with your child. And you can go to the Respect Yourself website or the Child Sexual Exploitation website.